Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Church, and we're going to use our tree map to make sentences about Dr. Seuss. Now, I'm sure that most of you know how to do sentences from a tree map. We're going to do a few of them together, and then I want to see if you can do a few of them by yourself. So let's start out with Dr. Seuss was an author. We have to put that word "an" in there because Dr. Seuss was author doesn't really make sense. Now, think about the directions that we had at the very beginning when we were going over our writing rules. When we start to write a sentence, what do we use at the beginning of a sentence? If you said a capital letter, you are right. And since Dr. Seuss is his name, we need to use a capital letter for both words. So Dr. Seuss was an author. Now, the next verb that we go to is liked. Dr. Seuss liked drawing. Well, when I do sentences, we know that we don't want to use the same word at the beginning of all of our sentences. We kind of want to change it a little bit. So this time we're going to write he because Dr. Seuss was a man. So he liked drawing. And our last verb for our tree map was wrote. And it was Dr. Seuss wrote stories. Now, you know that when you write sentences from a tree map, you can add some extra words in to make your sentences more interesting. So let's see if we can think of something. If we write Dr. Seuss wrote, and instead of just saying just stories, what could we say about his stories? Were they funny or silly? Or he wrote lots of stories? We could use a different word in there to kind of add something to our sentence. So Dr. Seuss wrote, I kind of like silly because lots of his stories were silly. So I'm going to put the word ill-e. Now when I say E, it sounds like the letter E, so you can write the E, silly, and then we'll do the word stories. Now what we're going to do is we have 3 more words on our tree map with Dr. Seuss was an artist, Dr. Seuss liked rhyming, and Dr. Seuss wrote The Cat in the Hat. Remember that when you write these sentences, you can add some extra words in to make your sentences better, more interesting, that gives more detail to the person reading, but make sure they still make sense. Keep working hard, boys and girls. 3 more sentences. I know you can do it.